Yeah. What's up with y'all boys and girls, man? Hey, it's Jay Briggs here continuing to cook up and break down some of this NBA action. Welcome back to Jay's NBA Jam Session, the best NBA betting podcast on the planet. Last night, I cashed my first NBA Jam Session play of the season. I wish it was in no sweat fashion, man, but it was probably the sweatiest bet on the entire card. Man, oh my God. But green is green. The cash is cash. Shout out to the Phoenix Suns, man. We had them laying the 3.5 yesterday. They won the game by 4. They were down 20 in the second quarter. I was mad, man, walking back and forth like, what the fuck, bro? Damn. And then they came out balling in the third and then proceeded to keep their foot on the neck in the fourth and got the cover for us, man. That brings us to 1-1 on the NBA Jam Session play thus far this season. Really good cash for us there last night. Looking to keep momentum rolling forward into tonight and into the remainder of the season. I went 1-1 officially, though, yesterday. I lied to you here on this show, and I apologize for that. I will try not to do that anymore moving forward. When I say I lied, it's because on this show yesterday, I went back and watched the jam session. I specifically said, I will not be betting this game. What did I do? Later on in the day, I end up adding a second play. I just really felt the spot. Felt it was a spot play, a situation play. It was not. I took the Dallas Mavericks outright money line. It wasn't a biased play. I'm no longer a fan of that team. I believed wholeheartedly that team, if any, needed a win to kind of get back in the good graces of their fan base. As somebody who lives here in Dallas, Texas, I have a pulse on what's going on that team. It was a terrible season for them to close out last year. And they got a new shiny toy, Cooper Flagg, his debut last night, debuting one of the biggest lineups ever to start an NBA game. I thought it was a really good spot for them last night to kind of wipe the slate clean, start fresh, and work on getting back in the good graces of their fan base. Well, that's not what happened. I had many friends in the arena last night. They told me the Spurs fans were more lively than the Mavs fans were. The Mavs killed their fan base. Short, sweet, simple. If you watched the game last night, even on the broadcast, you could hear faint fire Nico chants. It's sad what has happened to my Mavs, man. It's sad what's happened to them. They look sad last night. They've been preaching for the last since the trade happened. Defense wins championships. Defense wins championships. We made the trade to get better defensively. We think that's going to help elevate us to that next level. They preached defense all offseason, and San Antonio had 100 points through 3 quarters. That's the defense y'all been looking for. And then Jason Kidd came out after the game and said the most boneheaded shit. Man, that shit pissed me off when he said it. He came out and said, basically, our offense has to be better and able to help our defense if we want to be as good defensively. That is the most ass-backward statement ever, especially knowing what they've been preaching over the last few months. Just come out and say it, bro. Y'all fucked up and traded away the best offensive player in the league who ended the Thunder 2 years ago. I'm not going to go there, y'all. I'm not going to go there, bro. I'm telling y'all, like, when I tell y'all that really still gets under my skin, fam, it really does. It really does. And I'm going to try my best not to cry about it all season long. I'm going to try to put a pin in it, and I will. But with the new season here, actually seeing it on the floor last night, seeing Nico Harrison's vision on the floor last night, I'm here to tell y'all, I'm here to look all of y'all in the camera right now and tell y'all he is wrong. He's wrong. He was wrong from day one. And the NBA threw him a bone by giving him Cooper Flagg, bro. That's the only thing that saved his job. I still believe it was a conspiracy. It's disgusting. I still believe if you trade Anthony Davis and Cooper Flagg right now and put Luka Doncic back on the Mavs, bro, they would be finals favorites. Okay, that's a little crazy, but they would be, you know what I mean, bro? They would still be looked at as one of the best teams in the league, fam. Flat out. The Mavs now have a whole bunch of Robins, a lot of second options. Cooper Flagg, he will be a career second option. Anthony Davis has always been a second option. Kyrie, when he gets back, when he's at his best, he's a second option. Klay Thompson, He has always been a second option. And last night's game proved what I've yapped about the NBA for too long. This is not the NFL. All that team basketball shit, throw it out the window. The NBA has always been the best player on the floor dictates what goes on. And that was evident in that Mavs game last night. Victor Wembanyama was the best player on the floor, and he dictated how that game went. The Spurs had the alpha on the floor last night, man. The Mavs used to have the alpha on the floor pretty much every night they walked onto the court. And it's sad, man. It's sad. Last thing I'll say about this, it speaks volume. It speaks a ton of volume that Dirk Nowitzki, the GOAT of the Mavs, you know what I mean? The one who's brought the only championship to that franchise. He's not even rocking with Dallas right now. Opening night, where was he at? In LA, sitting courtside for the Lakers game. Last night, in Dallas, Cooper Flagg's debut, Mavs season opener. You think Dirk Nowitzki was there? No, he was not. Snaker shit, man, happened last year, bro. And the Mavs, I just don't believe will reap the benefits of it. I just don't think they will. So I just went on a tangent, a long rant. Y'all knew these were coming. These are coming. NBA's back, baby. And I love talking hoops, man. So let me see where I want to go from here. Money making Thursday is when I want to go from here. We got a small card tonight, man. Just 2 games on there. I'm going to let you guys know my thoughts, opinions, and how I see tonight's action playing out. Of course, I have premium plays over at the site. You guys can hop on something long-term. I offer weekly, monthly, yearly, seasonal, daily, however you want to do it. You can do it over at Pickdawgz Premium. We cashed our NBA Jam Session play of the night. I'll have another one for you tonight. And I'll have one for you every day of the NBA. That is the play I personally have the most money on daily. And we're just trying to do what we do. We just kick the crap out of the books, ladies and gentlemen. So without further ado, let's try to continue to do that. I appreciate each and every one of you that continue to tune in, watch these shows and these episodes. Smash that like button for me. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Without further ado, let's hop right into tonight's NBA action. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get her done. First game of the night, we got the defending champs, the Oklahoma City Thunder Buddies, out on the road facing the Indiana Pacers, the defending Eastern Conference champions. It's a NBA Finals rematch. Thunder laying 7.5 in Indiana, total 232.5. Let's talk injuries. Let's talk injuries first, because I think it's really important in this one. Of course, for Indiana, let's start there. Their engine, their point guard, the guy that gets this entire team going, Tyrese Halliburton. We saw him tear his Achilles in Game 7 of the NBA Finals. He's likely out for the entire season this year. Huge blow for an Indiana Pacers team. Huge blow for them. Their backup point guard, TJ McConnell, he's also out in this one. He's going to miss a couple weeks. Those are really the only 2 huge injuries for Indiana coming into the season. The Thunder, they already have a game under their belt. Of course, we saw them win the double overtime game the other night at home at the crib against the Houston Rockets. They come into this game injured, though. Jalen Williams still out. He had wrist surgery over the summer. Cason Wallace, game time decision. He got banged up in that game 1 the other night. Lou Dort is game time decision with an ankle injury. He got slightly banged up in that game the other night. Isaiah Joe is out, and Alex Caruso is out with a concussion. So pretty much all the guards for Oklahoma City are hurt except for the MVP, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Now, we already know what it is and what it ain't with these 2 teams. The Thunder last year were the best ATS team in the NBA. They covered in 68% of their games. They won 54 games last season by double digits. Fading Oklahoma City is not fun whatsoever. They're our favorite money-making team. We love them to death. And unless we have clear reason to fade them, I'm personally just not interested in doing so. Tonight, I feel like I have reason to fade them, and I will be doing so. I'm taking the Indiana Pacers plus the 7.5. Hey, finals revenge at home at the crib for Indiana. Man, they had all summer to sit and stew on this. Our first game of the year is against the boys that put us out the playoffs. Game 7, we were this close to beating them when many people thought we had no chance. I kind of got that same feeling about this game tonight. A lot of people looking at this game through the lens of no Halliburton, no Pacers. They're done. They're cooked. We don't want anything to do with them. Oklahoma City, they didn't cover in their first game. They were the best cover team of all time. No way they don't cover 2 games in a row. It's how I think the general masses are looking at this game, and I think that's the wrong way to look at it. Oklahoma City, let's just call a spade a spade. Last year, they went balls to the wall to prove to everybody they were as good as advertised. This season, they're the champs. They already proved what they needed to prove, so there's no reason to go as hard, especially game 2 of the regular season to prove what you already proved. You get what I mean? If you're following, you follow. So all I'm saying is it wouldn't surprise me if we saw Oklahoma City kind of go through the motions a little bit early season and then ramp it up as we get closer and later on in the season. Kind of a championship hangover. If of all the teams, like of all the recent champions, the Thunder are the team I worry about the least about a championship hangover. Like I don't think this is a team that worries about that. But then you start to add on all the other pieces in this game. Severely banged up for the Thunder, laying a big number on Indiana, who's a really good ATS home team. You got the finals revenge for Indiana. I think Indiana's underrated and undervalued because of Halliburton not in there. I still think that Indiana Pacers team is going to be really good this season and fight in the Eastern Conference. It's just a lot streaming and running through this game. We like betting Indiana at home at the crib, man. I think they come out and play Oklahoma City extremely tough. That's all I'm saying. I don't want to be laying points with the Thunder, as banged up as they are, on the road against Indiana. Finals revenge. I think Indiana comes out here, plays hard in front of their home fans. Giving me 7.5. I'm going to grab it with Indiana. Fading Oklahoma City is not fun, and I don't do it often, but I honestly believe it's justified tonight. We'll see what happens. Give me the Indiana Pacers plus the points here in our first game of the night. We'll keep it rolling. Last and final game of the night. We got the Denver Chicken Nuggets out on the road facing the Golden State Warriors. Warriors 1.5 point home favorites. Total 234.5. Interesting game. So, of course, lines have been out for a couple weeks now here in the NBA for these first couple games. And the opening line in this game was Denver was the favorite. They were 1.5 point road favorites in this one. This will be their first game of the season. We have not seen the Denver Nuggets yet this year. We have seen the Warriors. The Warriors went on the road, beat the Los Angeles Lakers in their first game. And the line is flipped. It has gone through 0, and the Warriors are now the favorites in this basketball game. It's a tough one, man. Denver comes into this game extremely healthy, no injuries. The roster changed up a little bit. Guys like Michael Porter Jr. no longer on the team. He's in Brooklyn. But other than that, it's pretty much the same Nuggets we know them to be. Warriors dealing with some injuries tonight. DeAnthony Melton out, and Moses Moody is still out. Looking at the money in this game, I do look at the money sometimes, and the money's all on Denver. I was trying to figure out what made the line move in this game. It wasn't the money. It wasn't like there was a ton of money coming in on the Warriors that flipped the line. That wasn't the case. Was it just the play of the Warriors that dictated it? I'm not sure why the line moved. I agree with it, though. I don't like fading Denver often. I tell you that all the time, too. But when we fade them, more often than not, it's on the road. They're not as good on the road as they are at home. Say it with me. The Denver Chicken Nuggets go stupid, dummy, crazy at home, at the crib. First game of the season on the road facing the Warriors. I'm going to take the Warriors. I'm going to lay the 1.5 or just go straight up money line with Golden State. Golden State's record with Jimmy and Curry on the floor is extremely good, dating back to last season. And we know the Warriors, they're kind of that ilk too, of stupid, dummy, crazy at home, at the crib. They play their best basketball at home. 50-50 game. Jokic will be the best player on the floor. I understand the Warriors don't have a ton to throw at them. We'll see what Draymond is able to do tonight. I'm on the Warriors in this one, though. They're at home, and I like the overall collective Warriors. While I think Jokic is the best player in the NBA, he probably has an absolute field day here in this one. Game one, I want to see what the supporting cast around Jokic looks like on the road against a really quality opponent like the Warriors. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Warriors already have that game underneath their belt. They're at home. Great record since acquiring Jimmy Butler. Like, the line moved in the Warriors' favor. They're favored in this game for good reason. It's kind of my thought process here. So, tough game. Tough game. I'm just here to let you guys know my thoughts and how I see it playing out. Not a whole lot of information yet. Still really early in the season. As a spot and situation better, there's just not a whole lot of spots and situations with the season just beginning. And looking at data, it's kind of hard to just say this is who this team was last year. This is exactly who they're going to be this year. I'm trying not to fall into that trap early this season. So if we're just talking hoops, man. That's all we're doing in a game like this. And I'm going to take the Warriors outright, money line. It's probably a better play. Minus 120, it's not bad. Give me Warriors, money line here in our last and final game of the night. And that's going to conclude this episode of my NBA Jam Session. Short, sweet, and simple. Just 2 games tonight, but I just let you guys know my thoughts, opinions, and how I see the action playing out tonight. We got a huge card tomorrow on Friday. Ladies and gentlemen, I think you should hop on something long-term. Weekly, monthly, seasonal, yearly, daily, however you want to do it. You can do it over at Pickdawgz Premium. You can scoop up my NBA play of the day. Today, we did cash that play last night. It was not in no sweat fashion. It was probably the sweatiest cash of them all last night, but green is green. Shout out to the Phoenix Suns for battling back in the second half. Looking to keep it rolling, man. Looking to keep it rolling. Looking to go 2-1 on that play after today. That's the play I personally have the most money on every single day. So you can scoop that play up today, or you can hop on something long-term with a better NBA card coming up on the horizon this weekend. That's all I got for y'all tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate y'all more than y'all know. Smash that like button for me. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let me know who you like in the comments. Be nice in the comments too, bro. It's early NBA season. Some of y'all little, you know what I mean? Chill, bro. It's day 3. Y'all acting like we supposed to have gone. How many games have there been? There's been 14. Y'all act like we supposed to be 14-0. Chill. Just chill. Y'all be killing me, bro. I would love to go 14-0, but it's just not realistic. I need some of y'all to have realistic outputs on what we got going on here. I'm the best. You know what I mean? And I try to help y'all win every single game, but it's just not going to happen. I'm not going to stress myself out because y'all are mad that we didn't hit every single game on a 14-game card. You feel me? Rock with me, man. Help me help you. That's all I'm saying. You got me? Let's do it, man. Let's keep the vibes good to start the season, man. Good vibes. Good vibes. Let's keep the vibes rolling. Appreciate y'all more than y'all know. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hop on something long-term if you think that's the right thing for you to do. Love y'all, man. It's been your guy, Jay Briggs. See y'all tomorrow. Actually, I'm going to try to really record tonight. I'm really going to try to record tonight for tomorrow, that huge card. So, hold me accountable. See y'all then, man. It's been your guy. I'm out of here. Peace.